Yeah, I'm there behind the camera. Politico did this, he said this in a longer video, but I'm going to say it in a short video. The problem, it's me, Brian of London. I'm here at the beach today, just this evening, and I'm going to explain to you the big problem with British defamation law as it relates to Tommy, and try to attack Sky News. And I'm not like explaining anything that Sky News' lawyers don't know, so I'm not giving the game away. Doesn't mean one can't attack them in all sorts of various other ways, but there's a big problem with the defamation law. And to be honest, at some point somebody needs to fight and get this law changed, or this part of the law, because the first line, the absolute first line of the British defamation law gives you the various defences that you can use if somebody sues you for defamation. So in this case, if Tommy sues Sky News for defamation, they will look down the list and say, we can defend it on these grounds. And the very first, number one, is, does the defamation cause serious harm to the reputation of the person suing? And this is a big problem. Now, back years ago, when it was the EDL and they were being called far right, I was screaming that the reputation needed to be protected because the EDL was not far right. Tommy was not far right. He is not far right. But years of articles have said the EDL was far right. Years of articles say that Tommy is far right. They call him a Nazi and the socialist worker. This is all ludicrous and defamatory. But the first thing that happens if you try and sue Sky News today for defamation, if you're Tommy Robinson, is they'll say that his reputation is not significantly altered by the lies that they did this time. And what they're basically saying is that if you slander and defame someone for 10 years, a little bit more slander and defamation doesn't count. And that's the incredible way in which British law is stacked against someone like Tommy Robinson. So if you are in any way a public figure, and if in any way you have allowed defamatory material to stand, so if you haven't sued the very first time it was ever an issue, then the law is disgracefully not on your side. So the law, even though it's absolutely clear that Sky News took a quote, changed it completely to put words that Tommy would never and has never said in his mouth, coming out of his mouth, and then spread that fake headline all around the world and was picked up by vast amounts of media, because they can claim that his reputation was not so great going into the interview, they're not liable in any legal way for this. Now, the fact that this will probably be the most complained about clip on British television this year, maybe even for the last 5 years, I'm not joking. I think it will. I think all those people who've gone to Ofcom and registered a complaint, which you can do, keep doing it. That makes a big difference, but not to the court of defamation. But nevertheless, I absolutely hope and expect that Tommy will get lawyers to write a letter to Sky News demanding that they issue a retraction, demanding that they give him some time to speak back, perhaps play a larger part of the unedited interview and allow Tommy to choose the edit. Those are all things he should be demanding from Sky News, and we can put the pressure on and help with the pressure. But the shocking reality is that British defamation law, and I first heard about this actually, I think it was in the Peter Tatchell, guy I'm not particularly fond of I don't have any, who's a campaigner for gay rights way back in the day. He ran into this problem in that somebody defamed him, but he had not fought the case in the past. And the case was just dismissed on the grounds that it didn't seriously change or defame bring his reputation down. And you know, it's shocking, but that's the British law. And again, this isn't a matter for the courts. This is a matter for you, the British citizens, to take to your politicians and say, this defamation law works badly in this case. If somebody has been slandered by the media, by fake news media for multiple years, then they can never ever recover their name. And we all know that fake news media has been lying about anybody in Britain who stands up for British values, stands up for British people, and doesn't like immigration, doesn't like Europe. You've been slandered for all these years. You can't get your name back. They can just whack you with more defamatory stuff until they think they've beaten you. So that's the problem with British law, with British Defamation Law. Go look it up, actually. If you just type British Defamation Law, you can find it on Google quite easily. And you don't have to it's literally on the first page is this defence of the complainant must prove that serious harm to his reputation was done. And as soon as you have a bad reputation given to you by the same media that you're now trying to sue, you lose. And that's just the bottom line. But still, we can screw them over because today, still, for I don't know how much longer, we do have access to media platforms that are as big as Sky News and can reach people and can get the word out. So in the end, one hopes that by Tommy doing this Sky News and showing them to be the liars that they always have been, a few more people will see it and come over. Anyway, I'm going to go some weird stuff. I can't get a drink down here. I'm going to have to go up to the restaurant above and get a beer. And see you all the next time. It's Brian of London at the beach in Herzliya, just north of Tel Aviv in Israel.